The Non-Experts podcast was made possible by KCLC and Lindenwood University.
However, the opinions expressed on this show do not reflect those of the university. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/non-experts-podcast.
They have over 180,000 titles to choose from for your smartphone, your tablet, your Kindle, wherever you listen to audiobooks. So that's audibletrial.com/non-experts-podcast.
Kylie and I have been best friends since 8th grade summer going into high school.
If 10,000 do want to sell Montana, but yet 50,000 sit on their butt and don't do anything, then the 10,000 get what they want.
Did you see those people? They love me. They all love me. The men love me. The women love me. Me! Mahogany!
I'm Romero.
And I'm Chris.
And we're the non-experts.
We're not therapists.
Or lawyers.
Or firefighters.
We don't have any licenses or degrees.
So join us as we talk about news and pop culture and say whatever we want.
Because we're the non-experts. How you doing, my friend?
Hi. What's up?
You know, there's just a lot of craziness going on in the news.
Oh, yeah.
And just got to take a special moment to talk about what everybody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the
homeless?
Kardashians. Well, somebody's about to be homeless. Jordan, get out of my house, said Kylie. So I'm sure you know by now.
Oh, yeah.
Rumor has it that Kylie's best friend, Jordyn Woods, was at Tristan Thompson's house. That's the father of Kylie's older sister's daughter. Just follow me here. Follow me. And yeah, she was at his house and didn't leave until like 7 a.m.
Yeah, it was a long party, is what I heard.
It was just an all-night rager, and she was the only one there, apparently. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I just want to start this by saying I don't care about the Kardashians or their endeavors. It makes me no money. I lose no sleep. But I just think this is a very strange story.
Yeah. Me and one of my friends were talking about it, and she basically said that Kris Jenner is probably sitting in her house, like, celebrating right now, because she's like, more publicity.
Another scandal.
Exactly, yeah. Which is what she wants. But,
of course.
I don't know. It's just rich, petty people, that can't keep their hands to themselves and have no sense of monogamy.
Yeah, my thing is, first of all, Tristan Thompson is almost 7 feet tall. He's like 6'10". So anything you do, whether it's in the public eye or, privately, somebody's going to notice you because you are huge. Like, you don't just blend in. So it's going to be hard for you to cheat regardless. But then you already did the whole cheating thing. And Khloe let it go. Welcomed you back, whatever.
Right, yeah.
Good for you. That's one of those things. Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah. Fool me twice.
Huh. Fool me, can't get fooled again. As good old G.W. Bush would say. But then not only do you cheat again, but you cheat with her younger sister's best friend. How did you think this was going to... Did you even... Like, I just can't see myself thinking that out and going, oh, I know. Her younger sister's best friend is totally the next person I should cheat with, because there's no way that's going to get back to the family. Right. And then, Jordan, you live with Kylie. Like, you ruin your meal ticket.
Yeah.
She's independently successful.
Screwed,
She does some things on her own, of course, but you have a free ride. You got a millionaire best friend.
You're living in her guest house, which is probably nicer than most anybody else's regular house. And I'm pretty sure Kylie was also paying for her phone bill, too.
So, like, just why would you even... Yeah. Why would you ruin this for yourself?
And, and it's not like you could do that whole, like, well, I didn't know who it was. Like, who... Yeah. It's pretty clear who... Yeah.
Come on. Come on. I think I'm more upset with her than Tristan, because, I mean, people that cheat are going to cheat. It doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah.
But like I said, if my best friend is a millionaire, lets me live in their guest house, takes care of things that I probably could take care of, but they're like, yeah, I got it, whatever. I'm going to ride that train until the wheels fall off.
I would too.
Why would you mess that up for yourself? That's the only thing I don't understand. You couldn't pay me to mess that one up.
Yeah.
I'd be minding my business. I'd find a billion other men before I messed with your sister's like boyfriend. That's just
that
was dumb on her part.
It was, and I mean, kind of like you said, don't really care. You don't lose sleep over it.
Yeah,
it's their own drama that they want to deal with, and whatever. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. And Jordyn hasn't said anything like on Instagram, Twitter, nothing.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, and people.
She probably can't because she doesn't have a phone bill anymore.
That's exactly what people were saying. They're like, she's probably so quiet because Kylie cut her phone off. Like, you see, now
too busy looking for a homeless shelter to stay in.
Right. She's like, oh, she's calling people. And she's like, oh wait, I have nowhere to go. I have to go be poor again.
I think the only good thing that comes out of like these celebrity dramas is just the memes that people make.
Oh, absolutely,
so funny.
Absolutely. The memes make it all worth it. But anyway, don't cheat with your best friend's older siblings.
Moral of the story:
boyfriend or girlfriend. Just stay out of the family. If you're gonna mess with somebody, leave people that are close to you. Leave their families alone. It's just don't ruin your meal tickets. All right, so Chris, I'm sure you have a phone.
Yes, I do.
And you probably have a tablet or know someone that has a tablet.
Yes.
Now imagine if those two things were one in the same.
Interesting concept.
Interesting. And that's exactly what I think Samsung is going for. As I'm sure you probably saw, they have a Galaxy phone that's coming out and it's foldable.
Yes.
And when you unfold it, it just becomes a larger image of whatever you were looking at. So kind of like a small tablet.
Right.
And I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's kind of cool, but at the same time, I can from a mile away see the potential flaws or the things that aren't going to work.
That was my first thing. I'm like, there's no way that this is going to work perfectly right out the gate when they release it. I mean, maybe, but there's going to be some issues.
Unless they've just been really like cranking it out and working on it for years behind the scenes. Because I know that was something I'd heard before, foldable, but...
But it seems like, especially like with Samsung, when they think of an idea, they usually try and get it out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Not that the
they don't want to get beat.
Not that the foldable concept, it hasn't been, something they've been talking about for years. But they want to beat everybody else to it.
Right.
Whether or not it's perfect or well executed, they can just say, "Oh, well, we did it first," kind of.
And just as a disclaimer too, I for one would think it could be anybody putting this phone out, and I don't think it would work. I don't see it yet. I'm not a believer. I don't have the faith.
I don't really even see the need, honestly, because because when you look at it, when it's closed, it's smaller than a regular phone. When you open it, it's smaller than a regular tablet, but it's bigger than a regular phone. So it's like a weird in between that I don't think anybody really needs. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, if it wasn't almost $2,000, I'd probably look into it. Well, then again, I don't think I really want to switch back. But I just got my mom to finally buy an iPhone. I have to give up FaceTime. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think I could see some use only because there are things I have on my phone that would be nicer in a tablet form, but I don't necessarily want to buy a tablet. So for that purpose, sure. Or like they one of the things they demonstrated was like, say if you're on Google Maps or something, it could show you a bigger picture of the map, which could be useful. So, there's some things I can think of that would be useful for if you wanted to do stuff. Or some people do a lot of reading on their phone. In that case, it'd probably be a little easier to see without having to carry around multiple devices. But I don't know. I'm curious to see when it comes out and hope that I know somebody that has it or just go to a phone store and play with it. Because I'm just curious to see how it works, how it ends up turning out. But,
well, you mentioned the maps or the reading, but it's like, are those like 2 or 3 things worth getting the phone for? You know what I mean? Like, is it like if they had more, like, oh, we can, do this is, a big long list. Yeah, then maybe. But, if it's just like the 2 or 3 things, I don't know if it's worth, the almost $2,000 for it.
Well, and then the other thing that we do have is that we live in an era where it doesn't really matter functionality-wise. People just like to be able to say they have it.
Right.
So, and the unfortunate thing for Samsung, I think, is that I think a lot of people will buy it, but say like if Apple did that yesterday, there'd be a whole bunch of people that would buy it, regardless of if it was absolutely useless.
Yeah.
But they just want the latest and the greatest Apple thing. Right. And there are plenty of people that'll be like that with Samsung as well. So even if it's not super functional or necessary, you just know that people are gonna, just to be able to say, "Oh, I got it! I got the newest Galaxy foldable phone." Look at me. And
quite honestly, I hope Apple doesn't do something like that because it seems more novelty than useful. You know what I mean? It's like it's just more like, oh, my phone can fold in half. Like can your phone? It seems more that than actual like functionality and like usefulness. So I kind of hope Apple doesn't do something like that because then it would look like they're just joining the bandwagon of
well, we have a foldable phone.
Yeah. It's like, well, who
ours
wants
folds
that?
up and down instead of side to side. It's definitely interesting. I'm surprised that the technology is there for them to do it the right way. And then, the fact that when they folded it out, there didn't seem to be a noticeable like crease or a noticeable like disconnect between the screen. It just seemed to be one clean screen.
Yeah.
So that I was kind of impressed with because I was like, foldable? How is this going to... So I don't know. I'm interested. Color me intrigued. But I will not, I repeat, Samsung, I will not be giving you $1,980 for a freaking phone.
Yeah.
That's ridicululous, first of all. That's the only other issue I have with these phones. Apple, Samsung, whoever.
Yeah, they're all pricey.
They start making these phones and they're like, oh, well, it's only $1,000. Excuse me? What? For what?
Right.
To call I'll go buy a Firefly again before I buy a $2,000 phone just because it folds.
Firefly, I love those.
No, yeah, no. The phone prices are crazy, but it comes out end of April 27th, I believe. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it comes out officially when it hits the streets, as they say. I'm excited. Alrighty.
Yes, the original queen. I guess you could say.
Diana Ross.
Yeah, original diva.
There you go.
Diva queen.
She is she's going on tour.
Is she?
Yeah. You know how old Diana Ross is?
No.
She's in her 70s. So, I guess, if you know that people are going to pay and you're going to make the money, why not do it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, some musicians, the older they get, it just doesn't sound good. So I think that's my biggest concern. Because like Frankie Beverly and Maze, they still have shows. They're coming to St. Louis, and I kind of want to go, but I saw them a couple years ago on TV, and they did not sound good. You think Diana, she still got it, you think?
I mean, I haven't really seen much of her lately. It's hard to say because some people like really do sound like really, like Aretha Franklin still sounded fantastic.
Right.
Up till the day she died. And, so I think it just depends on who it is. I think Diana Ross could, because she was never really like a big, like she didn't really belt stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was more kind of a quiet, whispery kind of singing. So I mean, that kind of works in her favor because if her voice is weaker than it was, it kind of works. So I don't know. I think people will still pay to go see Diana Ross. Yeah,
absolutely. I don't know. Like it always kind of surprises me when artists that are older, not that like 70 is, oh my God, you're old, right. But it just, whenever you think that they're kind of done, it always surprises me when they're like, oh yeah, I'm going on tour. And you're like, why? Like, haven't you made all your money?
I was going to say, you're
good?
probably getting royalties like every single day.
But like I said, if like we both agree that people will go see it, well, why not make another check, I guess? I'm curious to see how good she sounds, though.
Yeah.
So like I said, there are artists now, no shade to Mariah Carey, that don't sound as good as they used to, and they're not old.
Yeah, she's like 50.
They're not even old yet, and they don't sound as good as they used to. So, for her sake, I hope she sounds good, and for the sake of fans, I hope that they don't go and say, "Oh my God,
this is terrible.
This is horrid." So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
she's going on tour.
Good luck, Diana Ross.
Maybe she comes to St. Louis. We can go.
Yeah, that would
give
be
a
fun.
live critique. Yeah,
while she's singing.
As you can hear her in the background, not hitting that note. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It's interesting. That's all I can say.
All right, we're going to be taking a quick break to give you guys a chance to learn about a special offer from Audible. They are going to be offering you a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service and see what they have to offer. All right, so this week, my recommendation, I remember reading, actually, I had to do this book for a book report in high school, and it was kind of those books you're like, oh, I'm going to hate, reading this. I actually really enjoyed this book. It is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, and the Audible audiobook is read by Scott Brick, who I come to understand is sort of a audiobook celebrity of sorts, so...
He's a professional.
Right.
He does a lot of books, apparently.
Yeah.
So, the book I chose, as you remember, we had a class together over media management, management theory, and during the middle of that course, we talked about Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yes.
And I thought there were some really interesting points brought out in that book.
Yeah.
So that is also available on audible.com, and it's also narrated by Stephen Covey.
Yeah, he has a nice, soothing voice. You kind of want to listen to what he has to say.
He's somebody I listen to. Yeah.
I think it's a book everybody should read. But
absolutely. Yeah. I think there's some gems to dig in there. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/non-experts-podcast. Again, that's audibletrial.com/non-experts-podcast.
So, Romero, have you ever heard of Hannah Montana?
Oh, absolutely. Great show. Great show.
We're not talking about Hannah Montana, though. We are talking about Montana, the state Montana.
Okay. Yeah, this is a bait and switch.
Have you ever been to Montana?
I can't say that I have been. I heard it is beautiful, though. I've heard that it is a beautiful place.
Lots of mountains. I have never really been that far north. It's mostly been coast and south, Florida.
Oh, what a lovely place.
Oh, yeah. We got a good one coming up. Anyway, Montana, apparently there's a guy who is making a petition to sell Montana to Canada.
Okay. Why?
Okay, I can read the description that he wrote on the petition.
Okay.
It says, "We have too much debt and Montana is useless."
So that's the cause is let's get rid of some of this debt.
I guess he figures, we can lower the national debt by selling it to Canada, as well as get rid of a useless piece of the country.
Realistically, though. It's not
going to happen.
But just like, what were you sitting around doing that you thought, it'd be great, Charles? This just sounds like a Charlie thing, right? Let's get this petition going to sell one of the states, and then we can get some money for it, help with the debt. But let's get rid of some of the useless states. All right, so Idaho's got potatoes.
Yeah,
it's in a weird spot. You sell Texas to Mexico? No, I don't think they'd go for it. Montana. Nothing's in Montana, right? Let's try to sell Montana to Canada. Boom. Yeah. Less debt. Useless state. Out of here.
We also get a nice,
sounds like a plan.
Weird chunk cut out of the United
Canada
States.
Just takes a bite out of the U.S. and everything's solved. I just don't understand where you come up with these ideas. That's what always baffles me with stories like this.
Well, apparently he's not the only one who thinks so, because there have been more than 7,000 people who have signed the petition already.
With petitions like that, I think people are just like, what the heck? Whatever.
Yeah.
This is weird, but okay, I'll sign it.
I wonder if any of those people are from Montana. If they're like, yes, please. Because if somebody...
get rid of us.
If somebody said that about Missouri, selling it, I would be like, yes. I hate it here.
That's fine. Get rid of us. Wow.
That was interesting. They also they kind of recommended throwing in like California, Texas, and Ohio.
Yeah, get rid of Ohio. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody, even Ohio doesn't love Ohio. So Ohio and Montana, we think of any. We can probably cut a couple. Florida, please, please. Sell Florida to the Bermuda Triangle. That's where they belong. Let's get them out of here.
Yeah.
Go for it. Good luck to Montana. In more strange news, this is the episode I think that's about kind of just random things, news you can't really use whatsoever. So people have weddings, of course, and they send out their invites. You pick people you really like. You get your bridesmaids, your groomsmen, and sometimes there's certain stipulations. Well, what if you're a vegan and your mother, or say your family members that you want to be your bridesmaids, they're not vegans. They're murderers because they eat meat. I don't want them at my wedding anymore. You are not invited.
Wow.
How would you feel?
I would feel very betrayed.
This is absurd.
Like, really? That's what I would say is really?
Yeah.
Murderer.
And this isn't the quote, I don't want murderers at my wedding? Are you serious right now? Are you serious?
Yes, this is an Australian woman, but I mean, it's people regardless.
Yeah. I guess that is from the land down under, so maybe it gets pretty crazy down there.
Probably.
We probably need to get some more Australian news stories if they're this good, but I couldn't imagine, like, I'm putting myself in her mother's shoes. Yeah, Mom, you know what? I actually don't want you there because you're a murderer and you actually eat meat, and I have no interest in having murderers at the greatest day of my life. You're just on the phone like...
If I was the mom, I'd be like, okay, bye.
Okay,
Don't invite me to anything
Sharon,
ever again.
That's fine.
This is an easy way out.
My thing is, like, okay, if I'm a vegan, right? I'm going to let you know...
If you were vegan, I would not invite you. I'm joking.
I would uninvite myself, to be honest. But I would let people know, like, hey, if you come to the reception, there's going to be vegan foods. So if you want to eat, cool. If you want to just stop by and leave, cool. But I'm letting you know there's no meat at my wedding. Okay, cool, whatever. And if I'm going to a vegan's wedding, I'd be like, cool, I'll eat it. I'm here for you. This is your day.
Yeah. Not only is it no meat, but they're vegan, so there's like no animal byproducts.
Oh yeah,
like no cheese,
no
no eggs, no milk, nothing.
Yeah,
it's all like vegetables and fruits, which I mean, it's good for you.
Yeah. And there's ways around too. Like I've had like vegan chili before,
right?
And the quinoa was like the substitute for ground beef, but it actually tasted really good because if you season the stuff and cook it the right way, or if you've ever had an Impossible Burger, it tastes like you're eating a real piece of meat. So I don't understand why you couldn't just say, hey guys, just so you know, it's a vegan. We're a vegan couple.
Right.
It's gonna be vegan entrees at the reception. Just want you to be ready for that.
And that's the line between lifestyle and being annoying about it.
Yeah.
Because it's the people who are like,
murderer.
Right, like, how dare you? Or like people who are like picketing outside of, beef plants and that kind of stuff. That's just like, you protesting is not going to stop the production of meat or other people consuming the meat. I'm sorry. And that's usually like if people are like, oh, like you eat meat. I'm like, me eating meat is not going to do, what I mean? Like, they're still going to make meat products. They're still gonna, it's milk is never gonna go away. Cheese is never gonna go away. Not saying that what you're doing is pointless, but when it
big picture, it's not gonna
it's
affect
not gonna do
much.
anything. Yeah.
I think my response would be like, okay, Sharon, here's this video of me eating a steak. You wench.
Right in front of her.
Yeah. Gotta love that good old red
steak.
meat.
Yeah.
That's really dumb to me, though. I think.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that she was thinking, oh, I can get some Facebook fame for this. This will be really funny.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people do dumb things on Facebook and social media just for the clout.
Right.
So hopefully that's what she was going for. Because if she was serious, this lady has problems.
Yeah.
And the guy that proposed to her might want to rethink, because if she's going to be this crazy about something that stupid,
yeah, what would we
watch her
consider?
back. He won't have to worry about getting hit by a frozen pork chop, though, because there won't be any pork chops in that household.
No, it'll just be like
Get a
frozen like
stalk of
artichoke.
broccoli.
Yeah.
A big old bushel of broccoli. Beat you, Anthony. We don't have pork chops in this house. I don't know. Florida, it's a peninsula. Slapping on the bottom of Australia. Boom.
There you go. All the crazies
Match
together.
made in heaven.
Yep.
Keep it there.
So Reddit continues to be a gold mine for some of these Florida stories. This one
always.
particularly jumped out at me. I thought it was a little bizarre. Not quite pork chop bizarre, but it's
Not
still,
quite machete name kindness.
still pretty like, you read the headline and you're just kind of like, what? So I'll read
What
the
we got?
headline. Burglars snort man's ashes, thought it was cocaine, is the headline. So I'll read the story and we'll get to the bottom
I need
of this.
some more.
Yeah.
I need something.
All right, so some burglars snorted the cremated remains of a man and two dogs in the mistaken belief that they had stolen illegal drugs, according to the
Whoa.
Florida sheriff's
stop you there.
deputies.
The cremated remains of a man and
Two-
dogs?
yes. So two separate urns. Okay.
Go ahead.
The ashes were taken from a woman's home in the central Florida town of Silver Springs Shores, which sounds like a retirement community.
Yeah.
On December 15th, so this was a while ago, the thieves took an urn containing the ashes of her father and another container with the ashes of her two Great Danes, along with electronic equipment and jewelry, and that's according to the Marion County Sheriff's Office. The investigators learned what happened to the ashes after they arrested 5 teens in connection with another burglary attempt at a nearby home last week. So it's more than just 1 or 2 people. It's apparently 5 teenagers snorting
Jeez.
dead people ashes and dead dog ashes.
Okay, first of all, one of my concerns here. People cremate pets. When they die, I thought you just kind of,
It kind of depends. Like my family, we cremated my dog just because she had issues, and so and where we live in Wentzville, it's not, you can't bury anything in the yard. So we were like, okay, we'll cremate her. And so
it makes me really glad I didn't say anything like, who cremates a dog? That is so stupid.
No,
that
actually,
would have been
a lot of
awkward.
people actually do.
That would have been really awkward.
A lot of people do. I think it's to keep it like I said, on a mantle or something, so that when they see it, they get reminded of it. And like I said, some cities it's illegal to bury stuff in the yard.
Right. I just didn't realize that was something people did.
Yeah, it's actually pretty common.
Okay, interesting. So now that I've got that checked off my list, so typically when you cremate someone, it's in a special container, or like almost like a vase sometimes, an urn.
Yes,
is what they're called,
and you can tell that it is an urn that contains ashes.
It's not like a fancy cocaine case. Right. Like this is an urn.
They probably thought that's
very
what it was.
Distinctive.
They're like, oh man, this woman has nice place
what is
to
this
keep her
shiny
cocaine.
vase. Dude, there's Coke in here. There's 2 more. Wait, dude, there's 3 vases full of Coke in here. No, you idiot. That's somebody's ashes. You just snorted a dog. And what kind of crackhead teenager sees any powdered substance and automatically jumps to the conclusion, this must be Coke.
Right.
Let's do it right now. Why?
Apparently they were really looking for a fix.
Yeah, clearly.
Other than, stealing.
Steal the stuff and get the money to go buy Coke. Don't just find random powdered substances.
It's free, though.
In an urn. Like, how dumb do you have to be to have never seen or heard of somebody being cremated and put in an urn for you to look at it and immediately think, oh, it's probably an urn.
Right.
But then not 1 time did you do it. Not 2. 3 different cremated things.
Right. A person and animals.
A person and two dogs.
I wonder if they actually like snorted the entire thing, or if they just like got a little bit.
Let a little dip in.
Well, because I don't think they would have snorted it all like at the same time, because otherwise they
That's
would.
a lot of. They probably die.
Would
die.
Yeah.
I'm just and I don't know. I just almost I'm willing to bet if I snorted your full burnt dead body right now that I'd probably die.
That'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
So, Chris, how's your week going?
He's
just sitting
gone.
here. Yeah.
He's gone. Can you guys hear his ashes now? Watch as I snort them. This is the ASMR hour. I'm gonna snort these ashes. No, but yeah. So I kind of wondered, did they just pour like a little bit out on the table and like
get their lines going?
chop this up? Well,
yeah.
No, that doesn't taste like Coke. What is this again? Dude, this got to be Coke, man. It's totally cocaine.
It looks like it.
What'd you get this out of? I got it out of that thing right there. Dude, this is an urn, Anthony. This is an urn. This is somebody's dead body.
Yeah.
We need to leave. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Of all the weird things that we've talked about in Florida, women shaving their bikini lines on bikes, farting in lobbies and recording themselves, things like that. This isn't weird. This is just straight up like nasty. That's gross. I don't think I'd be able to live with myself knowing that's what I was snorting.
Yeah. Even if I was the woman and I found that out, I would be so devastated.
Yeah.
But
you snorted some of my husband? Poor Henry. They took a piece of you with them.
So, moral of the story is what? Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, first of all. Don't be a fiend. Then you won't be, you won't feel obligated to do drugs. But also, if you break into a house and you feel like you found some cocaine, maybe leave it. That person might need it to get through the trauma of you robbing them. Or why don't you take it and try to sell the cocaine if you're trying to make money? And then only then will you get beat up when somebody says, "This is an urn. Get this out of my face."
Get this out of my face.
Like, then what do you do? Return it? Oh, man, we're the ones that robbed you, and we realize this is Henry
we don't
and
have
your
your
two dogs.
Electronic equipment or your jewelry, but we do have.
Yeah, we figured that you'd want the ashes back.
Yeah.
The material things, they're replaceable, but this is family, and we apologize. No, just don't be a crackhead. Don't be a cokehead, I guess I should say. And if you break into somebody's house, anything that resembles drugs, just leave it.
Yeah.
Because it's probably not drugs. You're probably smoking oregano. It's... I'm baffled. I am befuddled, I should say. Snorting ashes. That's crazy. Somebody ashes, man. Alrighty.
Yes.
It's question time. Conversation time.
Yes.
So I'm just going to come right out and ask you.
Oh, okay.
What conspiracy theory do you actually believe?
Ooh. That's a tough one, because I guess it would depend on what you actually, what you actually consider fact or has been proven versus, what is an actual conspiracy theory. So I'll have two, because I have two in mind. First one, because this one I'm not sure about. Area 51. Like, has that been confirmed if that's real or not?
No clue.
Okay. That's one of them, because I really do think that could exist.
Right.
The second one, which is a little more controversial, is the JFK assassination. That it was more than one person, that it was not just Lee Harvey Oswald up in the, book building.
That's honestly, though, what's pretty funny is there are three that come to mind right away, and you listed two. Of course, the third one, what do you think it is?
Well, the 9/11.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, those are the biggest three.
But that one, I feel like, I don't know if it's just my, patriot spirit or whatever, but I feel like that one has to be what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it was a terrorist attack and nothing more.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
But see, then, you add all this other stuff, and you're like,
No, and honestly, though, when I asked you, I was like, I feel like he's going to say Area 51. Like, I felt like that was the one you would pick. I'm sure the lady in Florida believes it, that we talked about a couple weeks ago. That chatter has kind of died down. Area 51, you haven't really heard it come back up in a while. I cannot bring myself to believe that there are aliens. It just doesn't set right with me.
From what I understand, it's more than just aliens at Area
Right.
51. Like, it's, a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, that is one aspect
It's
of
like
it.
the biggest thing that people think of. Like,
Yeah.
And I can't bring myself to believe that.
Right.
I am a firm believer in God. Okay. Why would God create aliens?
Right.
But and there are a lot of people that obviously don't believe in God. So that doesn't cross their mind. They're like, yeah, it's aliens, man. What are you talking about? Especially when we see crazy things in the sky sometimes. They're like, explain it then. Like, I don't know.
That's the reason why it's unexplainable.
Yeah, it's unexplainable, man. What you want? So, I don't know. I've never really bought into the alien hype. Of course, with all the other like top secret things and stuff like that, I'm sure there's probably some stuff that like they want hidden under wraps.
Right.
Like the files that say that they did 9/11. JFK, he's not the only one. Well, his is the whole thing. Maybe there was 2 shooters. Then with MLK, there's a thing that was a hired hit.
Yeah.
Which neither of those 2 were unbelievable for me.
Right. Well, it's just the JFK one. Like, if you look at the injuries, not only to John F. Kennedy, but I don't remember I forget the dude who was sitting in front of him.
Yeah.
But his injuries as well. Like, there is no way that bullet, went into JFK, made a turn, and then, went. It's bizarre to me.
Have you never seen Wanted? You know you can curve a bullet.
Right.
If you just swoop your arm out wide, right or left,
because that's what Lee
it.
Harvey Oswald was worried about.
Yeah. He had a rifle and he swung both of his arms hard enough that the bullet curved mid trajectory.
I mean, there had to have been somebody on that grassy knoll. It had to have been somebody.
Like you said, when you just look at it from a logical standpoint, if you try to put forensics in it, you can't see it. You're like, it just doesn't add up.
It just stinks that the only footage we have is not sufficient to solve the mystery. But
we will never know.
We will never know.
Just like they will never admit that 9/11 was an inside job. And I gotta say, man, it looks fishy.
Yeah.
And that's not any disrespect towards you good old patriots or you people that may have lost someone during 9/11. That doesn't change a single thing. I'm sorry for those people. I'm sorry to hear that. But there are some things about 9/11 that are wonky. Whether or not you really want to go as far as to say the government definitely had a part, there are some things that are very like...
Right. Yeah.
Or, like the World Trade, nothing saw this happening. Nothing has any footage. Just, I don't know, man.
Also, by the way, don't at us.
Yeah.
We are...
there's no debating here, all right? This is an opinionated question. If you don't like it, then go your separate way, all right? You don't have to debate with me. You don't have to DM us later and say, you guys are totally wrong.
Right. Well,
there was only one shooter.
It's in the disclaimer.
Yeah.
We're non-experts.
We're non-experts. I have no idea what jet fuel can really do to a steel beam, or if it even really melts it. And I also I'm not a sniper. I can't say what happened, even if it doesn't make sense based on the reports. Yeah. But hey, that's my non-expert opinion.
That's a good question. I like that one.
I was looking for a good one. I was like, ooh, conspiracy
it's a nice
theories.
Controversial one too.
Yeah.
That like really gets people talking.
I'm honestly kind of curious. If you're listening to this, you follow us on Twitter or Instagram. DM me the one that you think is real. Don't DM me or Chris, because it's a shared page. Yeah. Don't DM us trying to debate it because it's not going to go anywhere. Like, that's the only thing I hate about conspiracy theories, because people always want to argue.
Right.
We'll never get anywhere.
Yeah.
The reason it's a conspiracy theory is because we don't know.
Right.
So we can't really have a conversation here. But what conspiracy theory do you think is real? I'd like you to send that to us. I really would love to know. Yeah. Anyway, stay away from jet fuel, steel beams, and grassy knolls this weekend.
Don't get into a presidential motorcade.
Yeah. I think they looked back on that and they were like, man, that was a dumb idea to just have him wide out in the open like that. That was not smart.
Poor Jackie.
Yeah. Oh my God. And you just like, even, have you ever seen the Family Guy like joke about that? And it's like the McDonald's guy.
McCheese, yeah.
It's like even that it's a burger and it's still like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like
Yeah.
imagine having to sit in that car and see.
I mean, just the footage that we see.
I refuse to ever watch it.
It's sad.
I don't want to see it. Like I've had ample opportunity. That type of stuff I don't like to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm about to see. I don't want to see that. No. Hey. Just be careful out there, man. It's a crazy world. Yeah, this took a turn. We're done talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're going to get like blacklisted by all of the people that are allowing us to stream on their platform. Be like, nah, get them out of here. No thanks. They're conspiracy theories.
Right.
Aliens.